And welcome to another edition of the Chennis Coaches Show. Hey, I'm Dennis Switzer, Sports Information Director for Benedict. Coach Barry.
What's up, Dennis? Good to see you in that seat, man.
Well, good to be back. We're filling in. Curtis had a scheduling conflict, but he'll certainly be back next week, and we're looking forward to having him back. But I'll try to see if I can fill in his shoes today.
You'll do an amazing job, Dennis. You're a tiger.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go
That's
Tigers.
right. So certainly we always want to start thanking our sponsors. Thank you certainly to Prisma Health, our title sponsor. And also we want to thank our other sponsors, South Carolina Education Lottery and all they do, and Lexington Medical Center.
Absolutely. Thank you. Very, very grateful for them.
Certainly. They do a lot for this program and being able to put this show on.
Absolutely.
So, but Coach, I know we got to say 1-0 again, 8 weeks in a row, 8-0 overall. That's just amazing, Coach. It really is amazing.
Man, this once again, to God be the glory, man. We're grateful. God's been good to this program, and we don't take it lightly. We don't take wins lightly, and then to get an opportunity to win football games. We're very, very grateful. I'm very, very proud of our coaches, our players, and our support staff for the work that they put in day and day out. It's a tall task, man, to be able to get wins week in and week out. And we just try to be 1-0 every week. Our guys have bought into it. They understand the philosophy of what the mission is each and every day. So we're grateful once again to be 1-0.
Well, Benedict goes down to Atlanta, takes on Morehouse, their homecoming, big Spell House party. There was probably 50,000 people there maybe?
I really don't know. I really don't know.
It's a big party, Coach, as you saw.
Yeah,
it's a big party. And but you go down there, wreck their homecoming, 3 homecomings that you've wrecked now. Just your thoughts overall on the experience, the game, everything.
Well, first of all, it was an unbelievable atmosphere, especially a lot going on outside the game. But I focus on what's going on in the game. And, when homecomings come, we're grateful to, to be able to go play a game. For us, it's just a business trip. The SIAC allows us to carry 58 players, and we take a travel party with the support staff and coaches of about 80, and we just go on the business trip, man. Our mission ultimately is to go 1-0. So, we get locked in, we get focused, and, the field's still going to be, regardless if it's homecoming or a regular game, field's still going to be 100 yards long, 53 and a third wide, and we got to go play football. So our young men understand the mission every week, and we're just grateful to be continuing to come out 1-0.
Well, that's great. Yeah, exactly what happened. So let's go take a look and see some of the things that happened in the game. So Benedict, we win the toss, defer to the second half.
Yep.
And defense comes out, sets the tone early, Coach. 3 and out, and they punt the ball. Personal foul. We get the ball at midfield.
Tell you what, our defense started off fast, just like we like. Like I said, we won the toss, so we want to defer to the second half. Put our defense out there first. So kickoff team did a great job of doing their thing and pinning them back. And defense, like you say, they went 3 and out. They did their job. Was able to they had to punt the ball back to our offense. And with them getting the personal foul, we ended up getting the ball at midfield. And, after our first play from scrimmage, man, our running back, Zaire Scotland, took it off the left tackle, ended up cutting it back. 31-yard gain, very first play of the game. But unfortunately, he went out after that first play of the game, and he never came back. So, it's a blessing that we have some guys that can really run that ball. That running back room is pretty deep, and we were able to go with our next guy, DeAndre Duhart, and he was able to do some great things. But we were able to capitalize and finish that drive with Jalen Taylor with a big-time touchdown run for about 8 yards, and we were able to go up 7-0.
So let's move on a little bit later in the first quarter. Eric Phoenix has the ball. We have the ball. Eric Phoenix, he has to scramble a little bit, fumbles. Morehouse recovers. They get to take over, Coach.
Well, our defense, stood tall again. They were able to move the ball a little bit. They had a couple big plays, and they moved the ball a little bit on our defense. But they stood tall again and kept them off the board. So they attempted about a 32-yard field goal, and we were able to block it. OJ jumped up high and blocked it, tipped it, and we kept them off the board. So they have 0 at this point.
All right, so Benedict gets the ball back, Coach. And John Lampley in at quarterback, moving the team, moving the ball. How are we moving the ball?
Well, we went with a little change, just to kind of change the pace a little bit. And, we're fortunate to have 2 really good quarterbacks. So, we put John Lampley out there, and John was moving the offense really, really well, man. And we ended up getting stalled a little bit. So we had to punt. So we ended up putting our first-class punter, man, Jared Eubanks, was able to hit a big one. I think he hit it for about 53 yards and pinned their offense inside the 10-yard line. So now we get a chance to put our defense back on the field with their backs against the wall.
So Morehouse has the ball now. They're forced to punt again. Coach, we held Morehouse to 10 total first downs in the entire game. They had to punt on 9 of their 13 possessions. The defense just really played well.
We're very fortunate, man. Our defense is really playing lights out entire year, man. They've really been playing some good ball, man. And kudos to Coach O'Daffer and our defensive staff. They've really been putting some good plans together, man. And you know, it all starts up front. And our defensive line is the key to make it go. And we live in opponent's backfields. And our guys, we play about 8 guys, so we play a multitude of guys. And those guys are really playing well up front. And our linebackers, man, they're really doing a good job of being basically the quarterbacks of the defense, make sure that the front is lined up and ready to go. And I think our secondary is superb. You know, our secondary, we're about 2 deep, good in our secondary, and they've been doing an awesome job. So when you talk about all 3 levels, from our defensive line, first level, to our second level linebackers, to our secondary and the third level, we feel really good about how our defense has been playing the entire year.
All right, Coach, now it's back, ball's back to Benedict. We start at our own 19-yard line, got a long way to go. How do we move? You
know, we just want to be able to take it first down, touchdown. You know, we like the big plays. I mean, we try to be an aggressive offense, but we want to chop away and get first downs, and we did that. You know, with Lampley's back out there again, kind of engineering our offense, and he's taking us down the field. I mean, we're doing a good job of running past. We're giving the ball to Duhart and letting him tote it, and we're passing the ball to Sean Presley, and we just play after play after play. And before you look up, we started on the -19, and we take that thing, you look up, we're already on the +5, getting ready to put it in the box. And we were able to finish that drive with a nice off-tackle run to DeAndre Duhart for a touchdown. Now we're up 14-0.
And that makes it 14-0, and that's how the first half ends, Coach. 14-0, Benedict. Just your thoughts on the first half?
Well, you know, at this point, we're pleased. You know, we're up 14-0 at this moment, and our defense is playing really good ball. So whenever they can hold an opponent out of the end zone, we feel really good about it. So, but I felt like at that time we were leaving some opportunities on the field offensively. And so I got in with our staff, first of all, and made some corrections, as we always do. Nothing changes. You know, we get in there in halftime and we make corrections on what was good, what was not so good, and things we need to fix. So I make sure I get with the coaches first. We talk about adjustments, and then we break up offense and defensive coaches. We talk about what adjustments we need to make, and then we get with our players. We always try to, you know, coach them hard and love on them a little bit, but at the same time, leave them something positive and make sure they come out that locker room with the right mindset. And now, at this point, we knew that we were getting the ball first. All right, and it was very important that we come out in that second half and play a little better than we played in the first half. I thought defensively we were playing some really good ball, but we left some opportunities offensively that we felt like we had a chance to score touchdowns, and we didn't do that. All right, so we were able to get back together. We talked about it. We worked it out. Again, we always like to leave the locker room positive, all right, and make sure they get out there warmed up and ready to go and come out with it in the second half with a bang.
Great, and we'll be back right after these short little break here with some of those second half highlights. And we've got some good highlights coming up, so stay with us.
No one takes care of families like Prisma Health. As South Carolina's largest health system, we have nearly 600 primary care doctors across the Midlands and upstate. So you can choose the one who's right for you. With a more personalized approach, more locations, and more convenience, including 24/7 virtual urgent care and online or in-person visits with your primary care doctor, we're doing even more to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, the primary care experts.
Welcome back to the Coach Chennis Berry Show, brought to you by Prisma Health. We certainly thank Prisma Health. We also thank our other sponsors, Lexington Medical Center and South Carolina Education Lottery. Thank you for all they do.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, so we won the toss early in the game, deferred to the second half, so it means we get the opening kickoff. Take us from there.
Well, like I told the guys, man, we got to come out the second half with a fast start. And whether it's on offense or on special teams. And again, there's 3 phases to the game. There's offense, there's defense, there's special teams. And at this point, I think we're playing really good ball on defense. And we were doing some good things on special teams. But offensively, we felt like we needed to pick it up. But we were going to get the ball first. Well, lo and behold, they kick it off to Grice, man. And I tell you what, man, Tavian Grice is an explosive football player. And we find ways to get him the ball on offense because he's a really dynamic player. But he was able to get a big-time return in the kickoff return game. So they kicked the kickoff in the second half, and 90 yards later,
90 yards.
Taven Grice takes it to the house for a big-time score. It really got the energy and the momentum swinging in our favor. And from that point on, we really played some really, really good ball in the second half. We were much better in the second half than we were in the first half, but that all started with that big-time return from my main man, Grice.
Absolutely, absolutely. That definitely electrified the crowd, and there was a good bit of Benedict people down there in Atlanta.
Absolutely. I'm super excited about the Benedict faithful, man. I'm telling you, it was, with Atlanta being a metropolitan area, a lot of alumni live in the metropolitan area, and we were able to have some national alumni people come by the hotel on Friday and just kind of talk to myself and the team. And we actually had Bone Crusher come by and talk to the team as well. He actually attended Benedict back in the day, man. So it was an exciting time. But to be in Atlanta and getting the opportunity to go against another team in their homecoming, we were able to find a way to go 1-0.
All right, Coach, it's Morehouse gets the ball, their first drive of the second half. So they get the ball. What do?
Well, they took a couple shots, man. They came out the second half aggressive. I guess they went in their locker room at halftime and felt like they needed to take some more shots down the field. So they actually made a couple plays to start off the drive. And but our defense held strong again. I tell you what, Curtis Williams, man, he really does an awesome job up front. And he made some plays. And then Dedrick Starks. Dedrick Starks is a talented, athletic will linebacker for us, man. He ended up finishing that game with like 11 tackles, man. So he really, really played well. So, like I say, our defense have been playing well all year. But some of those guys, like a Starks, was able to step up and really, really make some plays. So we're proud of Dedrick Starks.
Sure. Absolutely. It was his career high, 11 tackles. Good job for him. So Morehouse, the Maroon Tigers, they have a fourth down. They're down now, so they have to go for it. And Jaden Broughton comes in with a big-time sack.
JB, oh man, love JB, man. He's right from Charleston, South Carolina, man. Awesome. We've been talking to JB, raising his level. He's a talented, athletic defensive end. And he really, really made plays, man. He was all over that opponent's backfield. And he's so athletic and so twitchy, man. But he was able to get a big-time sack for us. So he made plays all games. So we're really, really proud of Jaden Broughton.
And not just that one play, he played well the whole game. Had, 3 sacks, Coach? Really helped lead that defense with the shutout.
Absolutely.
He's our Prisma Health Player of the Game.
Yeah, proud of him, man. He really is a great young man. He's always got a smile on his face. He's got amazing grades. I'm just really, really proud of JB.
All right, Coach, after that defensive stop, we get to take over the ball, and we'll get the ball right near midfield already.
Well, whenever you have good field position, you like your chances. And we were able to go back with Eric Phoenix, man. We're very, very excited about Eric, and we expect him to play very, very well because he's so talented. I mean, he can beat you with his arm. He can beat you with his legs, and we're very, very grateful that he is our quarterback. And so we went back with him in the second half, and he moved the offense just like we know he's capable of doing all the time. So, he hit a couple passes, threw a couple balls to Steve Campbell, big third down ball to Steve Campbell, and we were able to give the ball to our running backs, JT and Davon Smith. But we took that ball all the way down the field. All right, we ended up getting it inside the 5, and we were able to finish that drive. And this brings joy to my heart to be able to get Davon Smith in the end zone. And you're talking about a young man that has went through a lot.
Absolutely.
He's went through a lot and with injuries and things of that nature, and he finally got an opportunity to get his first touchdown as a college football player. And we're very, very excited, at least in the rushing touchdown. So we're super excited about him. He's on our leadership council. He's done persevered and seen it through a lot of adversity. He's a child of God. He loves God. He is an amazing young man. He's a graduate. He's in our Masters of Sports Management program. So I couldn't be more happy for a young man, the Davon Smith, to be able to watch him get in that box for his first touchdown.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know him as well, and certainly he's a great representative of the Benedict College football.
Amazing. Amazing in more ways than one. Really, really love that young man.
Coach, that makes it 28-0. Still playing well. Everything's moving along, clicking on all cylinders up until now. So we get the ball back. We get another nice drive.
Man, we're moving the ball, man. I mean, like we're expecting to do. We're moving the ball down the field, and we were taking it. We had already gotten to the red zone, and we ended up, it was like third down, and then we got to the point where we had a false start, and I really don't like false starts. Those are pre-snap penalties, and that's what I call a sin. That's a self-inflicted negative, all right? It had nothing to do with the opponent. And wasn't happy about that because that knocked us out of field goal range. So we were forced, because we were in a 4th-down territory at that time, we were forced to go for it on 4th down, which we really didn't want to do because we were in field goal range, but that penalty knocked us back. So as we going forward, we have to eliminate those self-inflicted negatives. Plays that happen before the play even happens. So, those pre-snap penalties are uncalled for, and we're not going to do that. So we're going to work on it and get that fixed. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that knocked us out of field goal range, and it forced us to go for it on 4th down. And it actually took us away from being 100% in the red zone, which was we strive for every week.
All right, Coach, now we're in the 4th quarter. Morehouse, another 3 and out. That was kind of their thing all day, 3 and out, 3 and out. Our defense really kept them off the field.
Absolutely.
Their offense off the
Defense
field.
did a great job. They really represented the entire game.
So now our offense comes back on the field. John Lampley bringing the offense back out.
Yes, so we went back with John. We didn't want to risk anything happening to Eric towards the end of the game. We were in the 4th quarter. We felt like we had the game, pretty good. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not over until the clock hits 0. We feel like John Lampley is going to move the offense just as well. So, we were able to hit some big plays, man. And Lampley hit a big 33-yard pass to Damon Cherry. And Cherry really stepped up this game. Cherry was able to have 3 or 4 catches. Really, really proud of Cherry. He's a newcomer in our offense, and he's really done a really good job of stepping up for us. So we're very, very proud of Damon Cherry. But we were able to take that ball down the field, and we just marched it down like we know we're capable of doing week in and week out, day in and day out. So, we were able to take it down, and JT was able to put it in the box again. I tell you what, he's a really, really explosive running back. He's very shifty. He slices, and he does an awesome job. So when we hit that touchdown there, we're up 35-0, and we like our chances at this point.
That puts us up 35-0, Coach. And that's actually how the game ends. Benedict 35, Morehouse 0. A shutout. Got to be happy with that. And we actually held Morehouse to just 140 yards of total offense. Just a dominating performance by Benedict defense.
Praise God, man. Praise God. Hallelujah. I mean, it's a blessing. It really is. I mean, just to be able to go to a team's homecoming and shut them out, that's tough. It's not easy. And kudos again to my coaches, my players, man. They really bought into what we're doing and how we're doing things. We just want to chop wood and carry water and be the best we can be every day. And they bought into that, man. And I'll tell you what, just to see us play as well as we played and didn't have the fast start that we wanted to have in the first half, although we scored on the opening drive. We felt like we had a couple more opportunities to score. But the guys, man, I tell you what, they're a resilient group. And we got in there at halftime. We made some adjustments, and we played some really, really good ball, offensively, defensively, and special teams in that second half. And we're able to walk away from there with a 35-0 win, man, on an opponent that's traditionally a scrappy group, man. Coach Freeman's done an awesome job with those guys at Morehouse. He's been there for 15 years, so he knows what he's doing. And tell you what, we were very, very grateful to come out of there with the 35-0 win. So again, another opportunity for our young men to be 1-0.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Coach. Well, we'll be back. We're going to take a little break, come back with our Lexington Medical Center Coaches Spotlight, and then our South Carolina Education Lottery Player Spotlight. And then we're also going to be looking ahead to our last home game, talk about homecoming for Benedict. So we'll be back right after this.
At Lexington Medical Center, we want you to lead a long and healthy life, and we're here to help you do just that. Our experienced team of healthcare professionals wants nothing more than to help make you well again. Take good care of yourself, and remember, we're here for you whenever you need us. If you don't already have a doctor or you're looking for a new one, choose from more than 70 physician practices at Lexington Medical Center. We wish you a lifetime of good health and happiness. Be well.
And we're back to the Chennis Coaches Show, brought to you by Prisma Health. And right now we have our Lexington Medical Center Coaches Spotlight. With us today, Coach Gary Howard, our defensive line coach. Welcome, Coach Howard.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Talk a little bit about this defensive line. Has really been playing great this year. Our defensive unit ranked second, third in the country. Just talk about the impact this defensive line has had.
So first thing first, we keep God first in everything we do. We pray before our meetings, and we just keep God first. And the guys, they really just bought into what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to bring to this unit, and they're very close. So like my young man Luber said, it's easier for them gel on the field, when they gel off the field, they love to fight for one another. They love each other, and they show it each and every time in practice and in the game.
Talk a little bit about some of your defensive philosophies and what you brought to the team this year.
Okay, so what I like to bring to the team is more of just having guys to trust and love one another, because when they love one another, like I said, it's easier for them to play for each other off the field, so on the field. So that makes it a lot more easier. So one thing I wanted to do is just bring guys more closer, have them trust me, and once they trust me, they'll trust in what I'm trying to bring to them, and not necessarily just try to be a coach figure, but somebody they can come to and rely on when they have other issues. Because, I mean, like, we're winning souls, and we're trying to build men and better husbands, fathers, and things like that. So, I try to instill more into them than just coaching. So my philosophy is I like to gain more, and they're off the field. That way it won't affect on the field.
Talk a little bit about your coaching history, how you got to Benedict.
Okay, so how I got to Benedict is actually funny. I was at Alabama State University last year, the Alabama State University, which is my alma mater, and the man who was my mentor, which is my old head coach, Donald Ely, he actually gave Coach Berry his first offensive coordinator job at Morgan State University, so they had a good relationship, and all of us being frat brothers of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, that's how we all built that connection. So that's the only school I've been at for the past 5 years. This is my second school.
Sure. Well, we're welcome to have you here. You certainly made a big impact on the defensive line this year. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have some really talented players like Lubert Denales, Aaron, Jaden Broughton, just Curtis Williams. I mean, you've got some really talented players on that line.
I do.
Just talk about some of those guys and what they do for this.
So first, we have Lubert, who's just he's the big dog on the D line. So he doesn't say too much, but he definitely shows his leadership by just going out and doing the right thing. He's going to be very coachable. He's going to be very hands on, and just a joy to have. Curtis is just an animal on the field. I think Curtis just loves just hitting people. So I think that's why Curtis is really good. JB, he can really, really, really rush that passer. So, I love seeing JB get after it, especially like in third and long situations. Aaron Miller, the silent assassin. Aaron is a joy to coach. Aaron's not going to say two words, but this and that. So, I mean, those not even words, but that's Aaron. But Aaron's just a physical guy. He was a transfer from Southern, and he came in and he was able to make an impact for the guys last year. But this year, he's even making a better impact. Jocelyn Light is a transfer that came in from Southeastern, who's a big help to us. We needed some more help on the inside, and he's a grown man in there. Yeah. He's a graduate transfer. He's a grown man in there. It's hard to move, hard to stop. There's many more guys. We got John Hannibal, who's a sophomore, who played as a freshman last year, who does a great job. Israel Nwakacha, who's a freshman last year, that comes in and does a great job. And we got Aiel Jeter, who's a senior, who does a phenomenal job for us as well. Nazia Austin Daniels, DJ Dunnifer, all those guys. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Sterling Goodwin, who's a freshman, who has a very bright future. He does an amazing job for us. He's the only freshman who travels on the defense, actually. Is probably on the team, but Sterling does a great job for us. And, I'm really me. It's not really about me. It's those guys. They help me become a better coach. Without them, there would really be no me. So I really got to give all the glory to those guys.
Well, we certainly appreciate you and the job you've done this year, because that defensive line certainly has played, as Coach Berry says, lights out. And they've done a great job, and we certainly appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We'll be back after this.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
And we're back with the Chennis Coaches Show, brought to you by Prisma Health. And right now, we're with the South Carolina Education Lottery Player Spotlight. And our spotlight player is none other than Lubert Denales, one of our star defensive tackles, defensive linemen. Welcome, Lubert.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Talk a little bit about this season. You've had a great season.
Yes, sir. I'm excited about the season so far. Last year was a little bit rough, but our coaches did a great job going out there and recruiting. We brought in some great players. Coaches have had a lot of great game plans this season, and we're just trying to take care of business, go 1-0 every week.
I remember last year when you first came in, you transferred in, and a year ago, Coach was saying Lubert Denales was going to be a special player. You had a pretty good year last year, but you've taken it to another level this year. What were your goals coming in this year?
Yes, sir. Last year, it didn't really go as good as I wanted to go. Had to take care of a lot of things off the field. Had to grow my relationship with God, and I think that has had a lot of impact on how my season has gone so far this year. And so, yeah.
We know what you do on the field. We see some of the destruction you create on the field. What do you like to do off the field?
Off the field, I really just like to hang with the guys. Just try to take care of business in the classroom. Watch some film, and sometimes I just chill by myself and just watch some movies, watch some Netflix.
What's been good on Netflix lately?
I've tried to take a break off of that, especially during season.
Sure.
Because I try to lock in for sure. But I haven't really been on it that much. Not this year.
Okay. Well, I thought you were going to give me some tip here, something to watch.
Nah, not me. A lot of my friends got a lot of suggestions, though. Definitely going to catch up on that during off season for sure.
Okay. So what are your plans after football?
After football, definitely plan on continuing my football career. But I also want to be a sports psychologist, especially for athletes who have been going through injuries and have a tough time coming back into the game, whether that's dealing with confidence or just your playmaking.
Just talk a little bit. We've talked about 1-0 every week, 1-0. Chop wood, carry waters. Trying to get to that. Don't worry about the end goal.
Yes, sir.
Just talk a little bit about this whole process, though. I mean, you have to be able to enjoy this season, this process.
We're going to enjoy the process, but we're enjoying the process, but we're going to enjoy our successes after the season, after we've taken care of business.
Mm-hmm.
But really, Coach has done a great job since the beginning of the season of just getting us in the right mindset, surrounding the outcome. And if we just take care of our job each and every day, then the end goal will take care of itself.
The defense, nationally ranked, I think we're 2 or 3 in the country in defense, total defense, scoring defense. Just talk about how this defensive unit works together to be able to come up with these kind of numbers.
As we say, it is a coach-led, player-driven. Coaches do a great job of keeping us humble each and every week, and our players we just loving each other. We're a tight-knit group, especially the D-line. I love my guys, so when we're close off the field, it makes it easier to go hard for each other on the field.
All right, well, that's good. Lubert, thanks again for joining us here with the South Carolina Education Lottery Player Spotlight. And good luck. We definitely will be cheering you on this week against Clark Atlanta.
Appreciate you. God bless.
Thanks.
Whether it's a bad kick, nagging back pain, or a hip that has you hobbling, nothing matters more than getting you back to feeling your best. As South Carolina's most preferred orthopedic provider and official team doctors for the Tigers and Gamecocks, Prisma Health provides all the care you need. With more expertise, more technology, and more locations closer to you, we're doing even more to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, the orthopedic experts.
And welcome back to the Chennis Coaches Show, brought to you by Prisma Health.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach, it's here. Homecoming. Nothing like an HBCU homecoming football game.
Listen, man, I've been a part of HBCU homecomings for the last 30 years of my life as a player and a coach. When I enrolled in my alma mater in 1991, I've been a part of a HBCU homecoming, so I know it's special. You know, obviously I've been a coach for the last 27 years of my life, so it's been a long time. So I know the families come back, the tradition, the alumni, all the people come back to celebrate homecoming. So we want to make sure that they come back and enjoy the party.
And this year, our phones in the athletic office are ringing off the hook, Coach. People want to know about tickets. They want to know about tailgating. They want to know about vendor spaces. We expect a massive crowd, one of the biggest crowds probably Benedict has had in a long time. And that's just fantastic.
Listen, why not sell it out? If the stadium, Charlie Johnson Stadium, the Jungle, seats 11,000, why not have 11,000 screaming fans? So let's get it done, man. Let's get it done.
Absolutely. You can go to benedicttickets.com. We still have tickets available.
Let's get it.
Make sure you get yours.
Absolutely. We want you in the Jungle, so let's get ready to rock and roll.
And, Coach, we got to play a football game, too.
Absolutely.
Clark Atlanta University. Your thoughts on the Panthers?
Coach Slater. Coach Slater's been in this conference for a long time. He's been a winning head football coach, so he'll have his team ready to go. And so will the Benedict College Tigers have our team ready to go. So we'll be locked and loaded. Clark Atlanta, I tell you what, they do some good things. We've been really watching film on them, spending the day watching film on them. So we always respect our opponent, but we fear none. And we're going to make sure that our young men that are lined up in that purple and gold are ready to play. So we know what's at stake. We know what we have to do to take care of business. So we're going to have a good week of practice. The guys are already focused and locked in. We did an introduction on yesterday of Clark Atlanta University. So we got an idea of what they are. So we're still studying and coming up with our plans, and our young men will have a good week of practice. They understand, as a student athlete, as a football player, the festivities that happens through the week is not for us. We have to be locked and loaded and focused on the task at hand. All right, the biggest party on campus will happen Saturday at 2 o'clock at Charlie Johnson Stadium. So our young men understand the mission, and they'll be ready to go when the ball kicks off at 2 o'clock on Saturday.
And a bigger party maybe about 4:30, 4:45, when that final whistle blows.
Yeah, well, we just got to take care of business. We don't worry about that. We just want to be the best we can be at 2 o'clock.
Absolutely.
And from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we're going to be the best we can be. And wherever the chips fall, let them fall where they may.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we need you in the Jungle, benedicttickets.com, and we will see you there, out tailgating, out celebrating, out cheering on the Tigers.
Well, we want you in the stadium, though. Tailgating is fine, but we want you in the seats, watching the Tigers play.
Absolutely. And, Coach, normally, I don't think it normally happens this way, but just happens to be that this is our final home game of the season, so it's also senior day. You know, because of COVID and extra year of guys, I think we've got 20 seniors we get to say goodbye to and thank them for their efforts and their time here at Benedict.
Tell you what, just the young men that we've had come through this program, you know, I've only been with them for 2 seasons, but just the impact that they've made on my life, you know, not necessarily, you know, I'm their coach, but ultimately at the end of the day, this is the 4 years of your life, or the 2 years that I've been with them. I'm going to set them up for the next 40 years of their life, and we're getting them ready for the game of life. So we hate to see them go, because obviously, you know, they've been a major impact to our program in building it and getting the culture changed around. But we're grateful for the time that we've had together, and we're super excited about the young men, the seniors that have bled purple and gold for their time here and help us build this program to a respectful Division II powerhouse.
Absolutely. And we're going to recognize them a little bit before the game. So if you want to get there, if you're out there early, stop in and watch us recognize our seniors, and that'd be a nice gesture for them.
Absolutely.
But we need you there in the stadium at 2 o'clock, benedicttickets.com. Get your tickets. We need you there.
That's right. Go Tigers.
It's going to be a great game.
Let's do it.
Prisma Health keeps South Carolina hearts beating strong. As the largest cardiovascular provider in the state and home to the only freestanding heart hospital dedicated to the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of heart disease, we provide the heart care you need. With more innovative treatments like LVAD, more specialists, and more locations closer to you, we're doing even more to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, the heart and vascular experts.
That wraps up another episode, the Coach Chennis Berry Show, brought to you by Prisma Health. Certainly want to thank you for your time, and it's been a great game, great week looking at the Morehouse game. Looking forward to this Clark Atlanta game. Just your final thoughts.
Well, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, you know, this is another opportunity to go 1-0. just going 1-0 is all we've been stressing all year, and it's the book that we read, Chop Wood, Carry Water. And I'm just grateful for all the people that support us through it all, whether it's the fans, the student body, the administration. All those people are extremely important. The alumni, we're grateful for all the support we've gotten the entire year. And again, the job's not done yet, but I do want to give a special shout out to those significant others, especially our wives, like my wife. My wife is very, very supportive. She's there through thick and thin. She's been awesome. She travels with us. She's just an amazing woman. And when, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and receive favor in the Lord. And I have an amazing wife, and I'm grateful for her. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for her support. And she has been awesome. She's at every game, and I'm just grateful to have a wonderful wife. So not only do I want to thank the fans and all the people that support us, I want to thank in my house and make sure that my wife understands how important she is in this program.
Absolutely. I have a awesome wife myself.
Absolutely.
So, hey, let's hear it for our wives out there.
Oh, yeah. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers, hey. On that note, go Tigers, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see you again next week. Curtis Wilson will be back for another edition of the Coach Chennis Berry Show.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.